I'm Cheyenne Hollis. This is the Touchback, and today we're going to go over targets if you utilize the tight end zero draft strategy we talked about in our last video. And of course, if you missed that video, you can check out the card in the upper right hand corner of your screen right now to learn more about what the tight end zero draft strategy is and why you're going to want to utilize it in 2020. With this out of the way, let's look at those players you want to move up your draft boards right now. The first tight end we're going to take a look at is TJ Hockenson of the Detroit Lions. I am surprised Hockenson isn't getting a lot more love right now. Everyone's super high on Hayden Hurst as the big time tight end sleeper in 2020. You can see why a lot of people believe Hurst is going to walk into the Atlanta Falcons offense and immediately pick up Austin Hooper's target share and receptions and all of that workload. But I would be skeptical of that happening right away. First of all, Hurst has never had a snap count of more than 41% in either of his two seasons in the NFL. That is a huge concern. I think why I like Hockenson more than Hurst just comes to the fact that rookie tight ends always struggle. And yet, despite the fact that Hockenson played 4 less games than Hurst, he still had basically the same numbers. In fact, slightly improved numbers in terms of catches and yards, a lot more targets. That was with Stafford being hurt. That was with a just cannon fodder quarterbacks. And I think with how tight ends tend to progress in the NFL and the fact that Stafford will be around for a full season, TJ Hockenson is a guy you can pick up in the 14th round, and he has a top 10 tight end ceiling. You know, he's a guy who could finish in the top 5 if it all goes right. And when we're looking at tight end zeros, that's the kind of upside you want. So yeah, I think if you're going tight end zero this year, TJ Hawkinson's probably the highest upside guy out there. If you're looking at taking a Hayden Hurst in the 10th or 11th round, just wait and go with Hockenson in the 14th or whenever he's going in the draft. The next tight end zero draft strategy target we're going with is a very unsexy player, but a guy who is incredibly safe, and that is Jack Doyle. Look, Jack Doyle isn't catching 80 passes like he did that one season with Andrew Luck. But with Phillip Rivers behind center in Indianapolis, you have to like Doyle's floor, especially considering he's going undrafted in most leagues. Phillip Rivers is a quarterback who's going to target his tight ends and his running backs a lot. In fact, in 6 of Rivers' past 7 seasons, the tight end position has received at least 80 targets, and more often than not, that number has been higher than 100. Now, Doyle and Trey Burton aren't exactly Hunter Henry and Antonio Gates or Antonio Gates and Ladarius Green, but Jack Doyle is going to be that ideal target Rivers loves to throw his intermediate passes to. When you look at the rest of the Indianapolis Colts wide receivers, there isn't a lot there. You have perpetually injured T.Y. Hilton. You have Michael Pittman Jr. You have Paris Campbell, Zach Pascal, a bunch of question marks. Doyle's going to get volume. He has an easy path to 50 or 60 catches and 500 yards this season. And when you're looking for that tight end zero who can sneak into the top 10, Doyle is your guy. The last tight end zero candidate we're going to look at is Dallas Goedert of the Philadelphia Eagles. The big thing that goes against Goedert is the fact that he is technically a backup. Zach Ertz is going to command his 100 targets and he's going to get his 70 to 90 catches. But Goedert gets so much work. He had a 66% snap count in 2019. He's on the field a lot. And even though the Eagles drafted Jalen Reagor, they're still going to go heavy with their 2 tight end sets. That means the potential for Goedert to catch a lot of passes and to be a top 12, a top 10 tight end. Goedert got 87 targets in 2019, and there is no real reason to think that's going to decrease in 2020. And more importantly, with that high snap count, he's going to be on the field more than an Evan Ingram, a Rob Gronkowski, even a Jared Cook. And you want your guys on the field because there's always a chance that they can make plays. So when you're in the 13th, 14th, 15th rounds, Dallas Goedert is a very appealing option. He doesn't have a high ceiling like TJ Hockenson, but the floor is safe enough that the value is far better taking Goddard way late in the draft instead of reaching on a Gronkowski or a guy like Jared Cook. That does it for our look at tight end zero draft strategy targets. There are certainly a few guys out there you can also make the case for being tight end zero guys. As we said in our last video, it's really about who you feel comfortable with and who you think has the greatest chance of succeeding. So that does it for this video. This is the touchback, and this is the time in the video where we are obligated to tell you to like this video and subscribe to this channel, and you should probably watch all our other videos, and definitely go to thetouchback.com for more great content. Until next time, make sure you take it out to the 25.